Welcome, guys, to the Friday 13th YouTube channel, Metalheads. Today, you're going to be watching an interview with a Spanish thrash metal band called Angelus Apatrida, who've just released their new album for Century Media Records called Aftermath. This is a fantastic thrash metal album. If you've not heard it, please check it out. So I've just interviewed Guillermo, the vocalist and guitarist, so thank you for the interview, my friend. I'd also like to thank Andy Turner at Century Media for setting up this interview. So please, guys, please share on social media sites and leave some comments. Thumbs up, much appreciated. So thanks for watching, Metalheads. Enjoy your Christmas. See you in the new year. Greetings, Metalheads. Today we're doing an interview with Angelus Apatrida. Welcome to Friday the 13th, my friend.
Hey, what's up? Thank you so much for having me.
So this is the first interview we've done, so I'm going to ask you some warm-up questions first, just before we start talking about the latest album. Right, as a musician, what came first? Did you learn to play guitar, drums before anybody in your family musicians?
No, I think, well, my brother maybe was the first musician in the family, but it was almost at the same time that I started playing guitar at the same time. So I think, like 10 years old when my brother was starting playing guitars. He was like 16 years old. So, yeah, I think that we both are the first guys in the family playing any instrument. We are into heavy metal since we were so young. I think since we were 8 years old, something like that. So yeah, of course, one of the first things we wanted to do was just playing guitar or playing drums or whatever. So guitars were easier to find and of course to play at home. So guitars it was, yeah.
Can you remember your first guitar?
Yeah, actually I got it. I still have it. It was
That,
the Jackson Randy Rose black one, performer one. Yeah,
well,
I bought it.
do you still
I bought it like when I was 12 years old. Yeah, it took me like almost 2 years to get all the money for that. And I still got it. I still got it, of course.
do you still play it live, or is it just something you just keep at home?
No, not that one. Nowadays, I'm plenty of Jacksons. I got like 9 Jacksons more, and I play all at once. But I would like to repair it because it's not broken, but it needs to get repaired. So I would like to bring it to a luthier and repair it, and sometimes just use it once or twice on a show. Yeah, I mean it's not a very good guitar. It's a amateur guitar, but just for the memories and for those things, I would like to play a couple of songs with this guitar, of course.
You say a lot of musicians don't keep their first instruments, and it's kind of a shame because you can look back and reflect. That's what made me where I am now.
Yeah, yeah, no. For me, it was so important to have this guitar. As I told you, it took me almost 2 years to get all the money. I was when I was a kid. I was of course studying at school, but in summer I was collecting money by gathering grapes. Grapes on the grape fields and stuff. People in my family got some grape fields, so I was just working in the fields and just gathering money for 2 years. And after the second year, I have enough money for buying a guitar. And also, my brother lent me some money for that as well. So yeah, it was so important for me. It's like a symbol. It's not just my first guitar, but it's like, yeah, it's very important. It's a symbol. It's the first thing that it was mine, and I started doing the first shows with this guitar. So I really love it. Why
Right
should
then.
I leave it? I should keep it forever.
Yeah, definitely. So, which guitarists have inspired you to become a guitarist?
Sorry.
Which guitarists have inspired you to become a guitarist?
I would say since the beginning, maybe Adrian Smith and Dave Murray from Iron Maiden. I would say Andreas Kisser from Sepultura. I would say, of course, Dimebag Darrell from Pantera, and definitely Randy Rhoads.
Right. Okay. What about vocalists? What vocalists inspired you?
I never consider myself a vocalist, so I really like a lot of vocalists, and of course, my number one in the top 10 could be Bruce Dickinson because Iron Maiden is my favorite band ever. So yeah, Iron Maiden should be the one, but I really liked Ozzy Osbourne, of course, and talking about thrash metal, or what were the main influences for Angelus Apatrida, could be Dave Mustaine, because I really liked Megadeth. And I also would say Joey Belladonna from Anthrax as well. But there, when I was a teenager, there were a lot of them at the same time. I couldn't say which one was the most important when I started singing, but I always have Bruce Dickinson in my mind, not only as a vocalist, but as a musician, as a person, as everything.
Yeah, for me, Judas Priest and Saxon are my two favorite bands.
Yeah, I would say Judas Priest as well. Yeah, I forget it.
Okay, then. So, was this your very first band? Or what was the first band you was in?
Iron Maiden, definitely.
No,
Yeah,
what band was what band was you in before you formed the band you're in now? What was the name of it?
you mean okay,
Yeah.
sorry. No, this is my very first band. Like, I started playing with a couple of friends from the high school, but it didn't work at all. And I would say that playing with these guys was the prototype of the Angelus nowadays. It was when I met David and I met Victor, when we started playing together, and also with my older brothers. We were all playing together, and it was like more than 1 year that we decided to name the band, and it happened in March in 2000. Uh, we were kids, so yeah, this is our very first band, our very first band, I would say. So this is why we're already playing for 23 years together, because we didn't have any other bands before. We were just jamming in the grass, jamming in the rehearsal room without any other proposal, just having fun in that moment. Until the day came that we should have a name for entering a contest, a local contest here in our hometown. So I think this is the first time that we decided to make the band. Like, okay, now we are a band. So that's the first moment. So yeah, definitely Angelus Apatrida was my very first band.
Okay, then. So, what does the band's name mean?
Well, it's something like, translated into English, should be like homeless angels, like people without country, people without nationality, kind of wanderers, maybe more in a political way, but not political like that. That is like non-patriotic, it's like having no homeland, like
Right,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bit like a refugee kind of thing.
Not in that way. It could be nowadays. It
Yeah.
could be nowadays, but no, in that way, it was like, just like, when you feel that you are so lost and you don't belong to anywhere.
Okay, yeah.
So something like that. But you belong to everywhere, but anywhere at the same time. It's kind of difficult. I think it's kind of a teenager thing.
Okay. So, I mean, I believe when you guys first started out, you were more of a power metal band. What made you want to change?
It was a natural change, actually. It was we didn't know that we were playing power metal, and we didn't know that we started playing thrash metal after I started with singing. It was something natural. I mean, we live in a small hometown. There was no like big record stores. There's nothing that we could just take some hints of what we were doing. We really liked it Halloween. We really liked Iced Earth. We really liked Sepultura, Iron Maiden, Megadeth, Accept, Judas Priest, every band. So we wanted to play everything. So, and we were doing cover songs of every band we liked it. So we got this former singer, Alberto, that he has very high pitched vocals. So I think that somehow it just sounded like heavy metal, like beat metal, something like that, that played by teenagers. So yeah, we could say that it was more close to German power metal, bands like Halloween or Accept or something like that. But after that, Alberto quit because he had to center more in the studies in the university. So I took over the vocals. Meanwhile, we were still searching for another vocalist, because I didn't like to sing. I still don't like to sing. So officially, we're still searching for the vocalist.
Really?
23 years. So I think it was just natural. my tone of voice, my kind of voice was like lower, and of course I was more influenced by other kind of bands. So when we started composing new music with me, everything went like a bit more violent, more classic, more thrasher. But we didn't know it. I mean, we didn't know what thrash metal was when we were kids. For us, everything was heavy metal. For us, everything was the same. I had the tapes of Iron Maiden and I had tapes of Pantera or Sepultura, and for me it was the same. I had tapes from Cannibal Corpse and tapes from Black Sabbath, and for me it was the same. It was all metal music, rock music. So it was in 2005, I think, or 2004, when some Spanish journalists started calling us the new Spanish thrash metal hope. And was like, and what's that? We didn't know what was that. No. And then we started with, of course, with internet. With the arriving of internet, we started searching and doing some research about thrash metal music, and it was like, oh yeah, maybe they are right. I mean, because we got this punk attitude, because we also grew up with punk music as well, and we love these bands, and we love this, and we really love to speak in our lyrics about this and this and this. So yeah, maybe we're a thrash metal band, you know. So that was the chain mainly. I mean, there was something natural, and after that, of course, you start growing. When you record your first album, you start growing up more and more, and you know the direction you want to get. Things were more clear. But yeah, the beginning was like that. It was something natural, that just spontaneous.
Right. Okay. I mean, your first record, Evil Unleashed, was that an EP or an album that was released in 2006?
Yeah, actually, this album was released it was about to be released in 2004. We got this first Spanish label that tried to fool us and tried to I don't know what happened, but we had this album already recorded in 2004. But it was we had to record it again in 2005 by ourselves because this guy from this label just disappeared, and it was a complete mess. And after that, this guy just released it the day before we were going to release it in 2006. So it was it was like, wow, this is the not cute start of a band. But well, I remember those days like in a nowadays I remember it in a very very happy way. Like we were so innocent, we didn't know what was coming next. Of course, sometimes I believe that we should just wait a bit more because we were so immature, we were so young, and we didn't have resources, we didn't have money, we didn't have anything, but we wanted to do this album, which I think that it should be like a demo. It should be our first demo. Actually, it sounds like demo. It's played like demo. Uh, so sometimes we just agree that our first real album is Clockwork, the one who came with Century Media Records. But I mean, this is part of a story as well, and it's a good story because we were a humble band. We came from nothing. We did it all by ourselves. And Evil and This is, of course, it's not my favorite record, but it's our beginning, and every beginning, every man should be very proud of his beginning.
Right. Okay. You've done like 6 albums with Century Media Records. Obviously, you're very happy with them, and everything's going very strong for you guys. Are you? Everything's going really well. And you've just toured recently, haven't you? You've just been on tour as well.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. We had an invitation in 2008 from Century Media. They just discovered the band when we just put out our second album, Given War. We were playing a lot in Spain, and during those years, we became very famous in Spain, really famous. So it was in 2008 when a couple of guys from Century Media came to a show in Madrid, and they just offered to have a conversation. Something that it was really like, wow, it's like one of the best labels in the world. Just they are interested in you, so wow. So we started conversations with that, and in 2009 we just signed it to them, and since that we're part of the of Century Media Records, and we're really happy about that. Been a very good relationship from the beginning. They are all really really nice guys. They are into metal. Most of them played or are playing in other bands, so they know what they're doing with this. And since the beginning, they didn't ask for some goals to the band. They knew that they have to help grow with the band. So this is what they were doing. We were all doing all together during all these years. It's going to be already 14 years together. So it's like nowadays, it's impressive that we can say that we're one of the veterans of Century Media Records.
That's good. So,
yeah, tell me please.
Good. So, who was you touring with recently? Because you've just been touring, haven't you? How successful was the tour?
Yeah, the last tour you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really good, really successful. I mean, opening and playing every night with these two legends of thrash metal, Sacred Reich and Death Angel, was really, really good. Playing and of course presenting our new album, the new one with Century Media Records, Aftermath. So I think it's been one of the most successful tours we've been so far.
Right then. So how do you see each album as a progression from the debut up until the new album, Aftermath?
I think it gets us. It got a natural progression. We're just trying always to put everything we learn, especially when we're touring, and we were touring a lot during the last 3 years. So we try to put all the new things that we were learning. You're growing up as a musician. You're growing up, of course, like a person. You're growing up as a guitar player, as a composer, as a writer. So you try to put everything together, and every time trying to improve yourself. This is what we were trying to do since the beginning. This is why I believe that Angelus Apatrida got this kind of career. Always going a bit up, step by step. Every album, I think, it's better than the previous one. Every album got new things, and it's not. I never heard anybody say that this is boring. This album is boring, or I prefer this one because this one is not good. Every album for all newcomers and old comers, all the old fans and the new fans, everybody says that every new album is way better than the previous one. Of course, you can find better songs, or your favorite songs are from older albums, but in the whole, like the whole concept, I think that every album is better than the previous one, in my opinion, and a lot of people agree with me. Yeah.
Okay. Would you say that your music kind of comes across between Destruction, Sepultura, Exodus, Heathen? Would you kind of say that's your kind of style?
Yeah, I would add other bands and I would quit a few others. Definitely, I mean, I really like Destruction, but I don't think that they influenced us in any part. Of course, Kreator influenced us as well. And I will add Slayer, especially when you see Angelus Apatrida on stage, you can see like the small child of Slayer playing.
You can feel the aggression of Slayer in your music.
Yeah, exactly. I would say also Megadeth, of course, since it's one of my favorite bands ever. I think that we got also that kind of the Bay Area style of mixing melodies with powerful riffs, like in the So Far So Good, So What era, or the beginning of Megadeth, that kind of thing. Obviously Metallica as well. But yeah, all of the bands that you say, the influence of that, and when people watch Angelus of Atria, they always say that, yeah, Exodus, yes, Testament, yes, Slayer, yes, Kreator, Sepultura, of course. So yeah.
Oh, okay, so we're going to talk about the new album then, Aftermath. Why did you call the album Aftermath, and did you have any other titles for this album?
Yeah, actually, there was a former title that we were discussing with the label, but then we came with this title, which we knew that it was, I don't know, could be like hundred of bands called Aftermath. There would be hundred of albums called Aftermath as well. But yeah, we came from a disaster, which was the pandemic, and our last 3 years for everybody, but especially for us, were forged during the pandemic. Our previous album and this one as well, because we will start touring in 2021. So yeah, we thought that Aftermath was very appropriate. title for this new album. We're living the aftermath of the pandemic, and we can see that the world's still crazy and a lot of bad things happening everywhere. So we thought it was yeah, something like catchy, short, and with full of sense, full of
Okay.
meaning.
Okay, so who did the artwork? As you can see behind me, I've got the album cover.
Yeah, it's another work from Gyula Habangsak. It's a guy from Hungary. We're working with him for a long time already, from 2015. He's doing the last. He's the artist of our last four albums since Heathen Evolution, and he's also a very very talented artist. He's working with other bands like Grave Digger, Stratovarius, Annihilator, and many other bands. So he's a really nice guy. He always got the concept, and we always let him do whatever he wants. I mean, it's like we just actually when we started talking about this new album, we didn't know the title yet. So I called Yula and we say, okay, we want something like this. I think it's gonna be something like an aftermath, something like what happened with during the pandemic, all the things that happened and stuff. But metal prevailed, especially our fans that helped us a lot during the worst days of the pandemic. They were buying our merchandise, and they were when at the same time we were not having any help from the government. We were not having any help from institutions and yeah, bureaucracy. So it's like only metal. It was only Megadeth who saved Angelus Apatrida. And there was another title, as I told you before, and he said, I think I know what you mean. So if you give me like freedom of drawing, I would try to do something according to that. And he came with this idea of Metalhead above everything, like Manowar style or Iron Maiden style, something like that. And we really like that. So it's like, yes, something that it's really cool. It's really metal. We're a fucking metal band, so it's really cool. And by the way, the album is gonna be called Aftermath, and I think that it fits perfectly with this as well.
Okay,
So
then. So,
it's always the ideas. It's always the idea of Dula. I mean, we told him what the album talks about, and the rest is just Dula. He wants to, okay, I did this. What do you think about that? I love.
awesome. So, I mean, the album's recorded by yourselves. You recorded the albums. Who mixed the album, mastered it? Was it yourselves or was it somebody else?
Yeah, this one on the previous one were mixed and mastered by Zeus.
Oh, yeah, the guy
Uh,
from the Idols, Queensryche and Sanctuary and all those
yeah,
guys.
yeah, exactly. He became so famous because he did that album from Shadows Fall, and of course, he is the main producer from Rob Zombie. Everything that Rob Zombie does nowadays is produced by Zeus. He also made incredible albums like The Art of Partying from Municipal Waste. He's doing mostly all of the albums of Hatebreed. He worked with Soulfly and Overkill as well, Heathen, and of course, as you said, everything from Total Torre and Queensryche. Yeah, it's when we had the opportunity of working with someone bigger. Zeus was one of the top three in the list. So, and I think he was the first guy that we called, and the first guy who replied. So it was like easy. You like the band, let's start working together.
So, who were the
So
other two people you had in mind? Who was the other two top people?
no, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
Yeah, I prefer to keep it. I mean, it's really 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 cool guys. At the same time, there were a couple of them that they didn't answer. I mean, you get the list and you write everybody, and you get your label helping you talking with this guy and this guy. There were a couple that replied on time, but the first one, and it was like almost immediately in the same time, in the same day, was Zeus. And we keep on talking with him, and we already started. He said, "Yeah, I really like your band. I just listened to that on Spotify, and I think that we can do a really good work together. So yeah, this is my rate, and we can start working whenever you want." So it was like, all right, perfect, let's do it. So the first album we did with him was the previous one, and it was more like a formality, more like just two guys that don't know each other, just working in something new. but the result was so good. We were so happy with that. When we started composing this new album, we just talked to him again, and in a different way because in a few weeks we became I would say like not friends because we don't know each other personally a lot, but yeah, someone that really cared about our sound. And he said, "I would like to work in the new album with you because I have a lot of new ideas, and I think that I have a lot of things to put into your band." So it made it different. So we decided to keep on working with him because he somehow he felt like he's part of the project, and this is very important for us. Like having a person working with us not only because of the money or because he likes the music, but because he feels part of the project is very important. So this is what will happen with Yula, the artist. The same, he feels like he's part of the project. So we're really comfortable working with him again. So that's the main reason that we choose him.
So there's a bond and it's a family thing, extra family member.
Yeah, exactly. This is very important because if there is something wrong, he will tell you. Probably with the previous album, there were many things wrong, and I don't know. It was not his job, and it was not his business to say, "Hey," because I'm not the producer, so I'm not gonna say this is cool or this is I don't like it. Maybe you should try this or you should change that. But now he is into that as well, like another member, like someone who wants to make a great project. As he said in the beginning, my name is going to be on the album, so of course I want to have the best you can do on that. But now you got the extra, which is he really cares about the music and he really cares about the project nowadays. So it makes a huge difference.
Okay, then. So how long did it take to record this album?
We spent the month of April. Yeah, it was in maybe the first week of May. Just I would say like 35, 37 days. Just recording almost every day in a row. And then it took all the months of May for produce, for mix and master. So by the end of, I think in the beginning of June, we got the first master that we were able to listen to.
Okay, so are you happy with the way the album's turned out, and do you have any favorite songs from the new album?
Yes, absolutely. Of course, you know that there are a lot of things that you have to improve for the next one. Always there are things to improve, not only in the sound, on the mix or whatever, but of course in the music itself and the songs. I would say that my favorite songs are still "To Whom It May Concern," the long one. Got a really really impressive part, and Guernica, I would say as well. It's one of my favorite songs since the beginning. And yeah, I would say also Cold, the first single. But to be honest, right now, it's still every song. I really like every song on the album. It's maybe in a couple of months or maybe in 1 year, my favorite songs will be different. But so far, right now, these are my highlights.
Okay, then great. So when do you think you're going to be touring? You touring again after? Are you going to be doing more touring in the new year?
Yeah, actually, we're still on tour. We're touring mostly now the Iberian Peninsula, just Spain and Portugal, just doing like weekends. This week we're going to Portugal. We're going 3 shows in a row, and
I
then
was there
coming
with
back to
Anvil.
Spain.
I was there with Anvil about a year ago, last year.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a really nice place to play at. The last time we were there was in 2018, I think. So it's gonna be rad. It's gonna be good.
So
After that, sorry.
So yeah, you could say after that, yeah.
Yeah, after that, in the mid February, we're going to Australia, New Zealand, and Asia. We're gonna be there until I think mid March. Then by the end of March, we come back here in Spain and we finish this part of the Spanish leg of the tour in Madrid in a very big place in the Wishing Center. And and then let's see. We're still working in a lot of other things. Like I think that we're going back to Europe in April. We're working on that, and it's going to be the headliner tour in Europe. But I think it's only mainland. So we're still really looking forward to going to the UK and that, and so hopefully it will happen sooner than later. But it's like it's really difficult nowadays for European bands to go to UK. So hopefully we can find a promoter that can risk and bring Angelus again to the UK, because the last time was in 2013, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no. In 2015 we played London for the last time. So yeah. Anyway, it's been a long time and we should go back there. I really like to go back there. But yeah, after this European tour, we're gonna be, summertime. We have some festivals over here. We're still working to go back to the North America and this year as well, and we still got more plans. Go to Latin America, tour in Europe again. Hopefully, we can go to the UK. So let's see. The main plans right now is tour as much as we can for the next 2 years.
Wow. Well, I wish you all the best. And like I say, if you do need a drum tech, I'm in.
Yeah. I keep that in mind, man. I keep that in mind, of course. If we go there, or if I know any band that they need a drum tech, I'll let you know, of course.
Or if you need a drum set for Europe, I'll fly out to Europe. That's not a problem.
Perfect. We're normally in Europe. We got our own technicians from Spain, but as I told you before, we don't have a drum tech. So who knows, man? Who knows?
Okay, good. Well,
maybe we should talk private about that.
Definitely. Well, I'd like to thank you for doing this interview. Have a nice day. And just before we go, do you have anything to say to the people watching this on YouTube?
No, it's first of all, thanks to you. Thanks for your time and having me in your show. And I really want to say hello and what's up to all the people or your followers in YouTube. And just as I told you before, we're really looking forward to coming back to the UK and Ireland and try to tour there as much as we can. So hopefully we can see you sooner than later, and just take care, everybody. I really hope that you enjoy Aftermath. And if you didn't check it, just check it now. Just listen to this on Spotify or go to a record store and buy a copy and try to enjoy it. I think it's a good album, and I think it's worth it.
Brilliant. Okay, well, have a nice Christmas. All the best for next year.
Hopefully
I'll get to meet you. Cheers, brother. Thank you.
Nice day.
Thank you.
Cheers,
Bye-bye.
man.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.